All right, guys, we're going to continue on a book I haven't read in a long time. I don't know, it's been more than 6 months for sure. We're on letter 15 of the 38 letters from John D. Rockefeller to his son, Perspectives, Ideology, and Wisdom. Letter number 15. Wealth is the byproduct of diligence. Our wealth is a reward for our work. January 25th, 1907. Dear John, I am glad to receive your letter. In your letter, there were two sentences that I appreciate. One is, if you are not a winner, you are defying yourself. And the other is, diligence brings nobility. These two sentences are my true life motto. If I am not self-effacing, I would like to say that they are the epitome of my life. From like I'm not like, patting myself on the back. I would like to say that they are the epitome of my life. When talking about the huge wealth that I have created, those bad-meaning newspapers often liken me to a very talented money-making machine. In fact, they know almost nothing about me and lack insight regarding history. As immigrants, it is our nature to be hopeful and hardworking. When I was a child, my mother implanted the virtues of frugality, like not just being wasteful with your money, independence, diligence, trustworthiness, and unremitting entrepreneurial spirit into my bones. I sincerely believe in these virtues and regard them as great success. I guard them as great success creeds. To this day, these great beliefs still flow in my blood, and all of this formed a ladder for me to climb up and sent me to the top of the mountain of wealth. Of course, the Civil War that changed the fates and life of the American people has benefited me a lot. To be honest, it has made me a business giant that is amazing and daunting in the business world. Yes, the Civil War gave the people unprecedented business opportunities. The Civil War. It turned me into a rich man ahead of time. It provided me with capital support to win in the arena for grabbing opportunities that were set off after the war, and even after I was able to make money. However, opportunities are equal as time. Why was I able? Why was I able? There's a typo right here. Why was I able? I seize the opportunity to become a huge rich while many people miss this opportunity and have to live in poverty. Is it really as my detractor said? Is it because I am insatiable? Like never satisfied? No, it is hard work. Opportunities are only reserved for hardworking people. When I was young, I believed in a law of success. Wealth is an accident, a byproduct of hard work. So when I was young, I believed in a law of success. Wealth is an accident, a byproduct of hard work. The achievement of each goal comes from diligent thinking and diligent action. When the same is true for realizing the dream of wealth, and the same is true for realizing the dream of wealth. So diligence. I highly admire the phrase diligence brings nobility. It is a motto that I forever will respect. Whether in the past or present, whether in North America where we are based in, or in the Far East, those nobles who enjoy status, dignity, glory, and wealth have a never-ending heart and a pair of strong arms. Their bodies are full of perseverance and tenacious will. And it is this kind of quality or wealth that made them accomplish their careers, win respect, and become indomitable figures. John, in this infinitely changing world, there are no permanent nobles and no permanent poor. As you know, when I was young, I wore ragged clothes and my family was poor, that I had to rely on good-hearted people. But today I have a huge wealth empire and I've poured huge wealth into charity. Just like 10,000 kinds of ups and downs that rises and falls, like the transformations of the world, the ups and downs are like vicissitudes of life. They multiply endlessly. People from humble and poor family backgrounds, through their hard work, persistent pursuit, and wisdom, can also achieve fame and success and become a new nobleman. All dignity and honor must be obtained by one's own creation so that such honor can last. But in our society today, the children of the rich are in a situation where they do not advance or retreat. Unfortunately, many of them lack the enterprising spirit, but are prone to leisure and profligacy. So even though they grow up in a wealthy environment, they die in poverty. Therefore, you have to teach your children that if they want to perfect themselves, gain achievements, enjoy the joy of success, win the respect of society, and praise life, they can only create with their own hands. Let them know that the crown of honor will only be worn on the heads of those who dare to explore. Let them know that diligence is for themselves, not for others, and they are the biggest beneficiaries of diligence. They can only create with their hands. They can only create with their hands. Let them know that the crown of honor will only be worn on the heads of those who dare to explore. Let them know that diligence is for themselves. They're the biggest beneficiaries of diligence. Since I was a child, I firmly believed that without hard work, there will be no fruitful and positive gains. As a child of the poor, there is no other way than to gain success, wealth, and dignity through hard work. When I was in school, I was not a good student, but I was unwilling to fall behind, so I could only prepare my homework diligently and persevere. When I was 10 years old, I knew I had to do as much work as I could, cutting wood, milking, fetching water, and farming. I did everything and never wasted my effort. It was the hard and toiling years in the countryside that honed my will and enabled me to withstand the hardships of starting a business in the future. It also made me more perseverant and shaped my strong self-confidence. I know that the reason why I can always deal with the adversity in the future, including my success, is largely due to the self-confidence I built since I was young. Diligence can cultivate people's quality and abilities. When I was employed by Hewitt Tooty Company, I gained the reputation of being an outstanding young bookkeeper with extraordinary ability. During those days, I can be said to be wearing the stars and the moon all day long, night and day. At that time, my employer said to me that I would succeed given my extraordinary perseverance. Although I do not understand what the future will look like, there is one thing I believe. As long as I do something with my heart, I will never fail. Today, even though I am nearly 70 years old, I still fight in the business world because I know that the quickest way to end my life is to do nothing. Everyone has the right to choose retirement as the beginning or the end. That kind of idle attitude to life can poison people. I always think of retirement as starting again, and I've never stopped fighting for a day because I know the true meaning of life. John, my prominence today, the huge wealth, is only the result of me putting way more strength and creativity than others. I was originally an ordinary person, and I did not have a crown on my head, but with strong perseverance, tenacity, attitude, and diligence, I finally became successful. My reputation is not a false name, it is a crown cast in blood and sweat. A little bit of jealousy and shallow ignorance are all unfair to me. So he's saying like there's no reason for people to hate. I think he meant tenacious attitude. But with strong perseverance, tenacious attitude, and diligence, I finally became successful. My reputation is not a false name. It is a crown cast in blood and sweat. Our wealth is a reward for our hard work. Let us strengthen our convictions, identify our goals, and continue our efforts with faith in God's will. My son, love your father.